Hello and welcome to my reflection podcast. My name is Myleigh Alford. This semester in anthropology has challenged me to think differently about culture and how it shapes our lives. As a pre-architecture major, I've realized that anthropology isn't just about studying people. It's about understanding how culture influences the spaces we live in and the goals we set for ourselves. Today, I'll share my career path, my values, the lessons I've learned, and how my perspective has changed since taking this anthropology class. My goal is to become an architect who designs spaces that foster belonging and inclusion. I want to create environments that don't just look impressive, but that serve the people who use them. The problems I want to address are about access and identity, how buildings can either welcome or exclude. Architecture gives me the chance to contribute to communities in a meaningful way, and anthropology has shown me that culture must be at the center of that work. I believe that spaces should reflect the values of the people who inhabit them. Culture matters because it shapes how people experience buildings, whether it's a home, a school, or a public plaza. My core values are strongly rooted in empathy and authenticity. I don't want to design spaces that feel performative or disconnected. I want to design with respect for traditions, identities, and the everyday practices that make people feel at home. One of the most important lessons from this class was learning to see big and see small. Seeing small means noticing everyday details. How people gather in kitchens, how they decorate porches, how rituals unfold in sacred spaces. Seeing big means connecting those details to larger systems, like history, economics, and politics. In architecture, this dual vision is essential. A doorway might seem like a small design choice, but it can symbolize openness or exclusion. A skyline reflects not just engineering, but cultural values about progress and identity. Anthropology taught me that culture is never neutral. It shapes identity, pride, and sometimes exclusion. These insights will help me design spaces that are meaningful, not just functional. At the start of the semester, I thought architecture was mostly about aesthetics and technical skill. Now I see it as a deeply cultural. Buildings tell stories about who belongs, who has power, and what a community values. Anthropology has taught me to question assumptions and to design not just for beauty, but also for inclusion. I've learned to reflect on my own biases and to think about how culture shapes every decision I make. So as I continue my journey in architecture and while I finish my pre-architecture program, I want to carry this anthropological lens with me. I want to design spaces that don't just stand tall, but speak to the people who live in them. Culture affects every aspect of our lives, and anthropology has given me a way to see it clearly, in the big structures and the small details. Thanks for listening to my reflection podcast. I hope it inspires you to think about how culture shapes your own goals and the communities you're a part of.